Hi, I'm Laura Pazzaglia of Hip Cooking, and today we're going to learn all about vegetables in the pressure cooker. We're going to steam some broccoli, and then I'm going to show you a technique that will turn any package of frozen veggies into a delicious stew. But wait, there's more. We're going to explore the pressure cooker opening methods in depth. Welcome to Pressure Cooking School. I have a confession to make. Not everyone is going to enjoy pressure-cooked vegetables. They're not. People who enjoy raw vegetables, barely cooked vegetables, and crunchy vegetables, they're just not going to enjoy what comes out of the pressure cooker. Pressure-cooked vegetables are tender, flavorful, and packed with nutrients, but they're not going to be crunchy and they're not going to be al dente. Here's 3 ways to get vivid veggies from the pressure cooker. Choose the low pressure setting to ensure more delicate cooking. This is usually half the extra heat of high pressure. And some cookers will also let you steam veggies without any pressure at all. Open the pressure cooker quickly because even if the cooker is off, the vegetables are still in a very hot environment and they're going to continue to cook. And we don't want that. For mixed recipes like a bean or meat stew, add the vegetables near the end to ensure that they're not overly tender. Personally, I don't have an issue with tender veggies from the pressure cooker. They taste better. That's because they're flash cooked at higher temperatures than conventional cooking, like boiling or baking, but for a much shorter amount of time. Studies have proven that this preserves more vitamins and minerals than other cooking methods. But you don't have to be a scientist to know this. You can actually taste the difference. Eating a pressure-cooked vegetable is like tasting vegetables in HD. So let's try it. Steaming broccoli sounds simple, right? First, we need a steamer basket to steam them with. Not all pressure cookers come with one. Some come with a wire trivet. There's no way you could steam broccoli with this. Others come with perforated racks, but it's too shallow. It will be covered with liquid and not steam the broccoli. Here's a wire trivet with handles. Again, it's too shallow and the openings are too wide. Here's my favorite kind of steamer basket. It's a collapsible steamer basket. It has tall feet and comes in different sizes. I call it a flower steamer basket. I recommend getting the largest one that will fit because it has a larger flat area that can be used for steaming desserts. If your pressure cooker has a non-stick insert, get a silicone steamer basket. That way the coating won't be scratched. You can purchase these from any homeware store. Check the HIP site for links. Thankfully, this pressure cooker did come with an extra tall wire trivet and high quality steamer basket. First, add the minimum liquid required by your pressure cooker. If you're not sure, 1.5 cups will work for just about every kind and type. Trivet's already in, steamer basket goes in, broccoli goes in. Close the lid and set the valve to the pressure cooking position. Now, set the pressure to low and the recommended cooking time with high or low pressure according to your veggie doneness preference. Okay, this technique will work with any frozen vegetable, frozen broccoli, a block of spinach, a package of corn. I'm using green beans. Again, we're going to use the minimum liquid requirement. A can of chopped tomatoes, and garlic powder. Fresh won't work here. Add fresh garlic after pressure cooking to keep it from losing flavor. Set the valve to the pressure cooking position. Serve this veggie stew on its own, with a tear of a baguette piled on a baked potato, or mixed in with rice. How you open the pressure cooker is actually an important part of the recipe. So let's review the 4 pressure cooker opening methods and how we've used them in this series so far. Then we're going to take a look at what's actually going on inside. The normal release, also known as quick release, is when the pressure is released from the cooker all at once using the valve. We use this for the hot water tests and in the first recipe in the series, the cauliflower potato mash. The slow normal opening is when the pressure is released from the valve slowly, or if that is not possible, in short bursts, 10 seconds apart, to keep foam and food from spraying out of the valve. We use that when we quick soaked beans. In the rice lesson, we used a 10-minute natural release. When cooking was finished, we let the rice sit in the leftover heat and steam of the pressure cooker to continue cooking for 10 minutes. After that, if there was any residual pressure left, that can be released. And finally, we used the natural pressure release with the black bean lentil chili, where basically we let the pressure cooker do its own thing until pressure has completely dissipated naturally. The benefits of each opening method will become clear once we take a closer look at exactly what is going on inside the pressure cooker when it's reaching, maintaining, and releasing pressure. To do that, we have to first look at what happens when water boils without pressure. When boiling conventionally, the water is heated, bubbles form, break to the surface, and release vapor, steam. This is the exact same thing that is happening in a pressure cooker too, before it starts to build pressure. Then, when the valve closes, the steam is trapped inside the pressure cooker. The steam pushes in all directions, including down on the food and the cooking liquid. It is the steam that provides the physical push that is the pressure of pressure cooking. This force is so strong that the bubbles from the boil cannot rise and break to the surface anymore. This is one of the unique properties of pressure cooking. The food is cooked at very high temperatures, but at the same time, it's not moving much. It's not being tossed and jostled around as it would have been boiling in an open pot. So, any guesses what happens when pressure is released? Well, when steam is released from the valve, the pressure inside decreases and the force that was suppressing the bubbles inside the pressure cooker is no longer there. And there is a lot of heat that wants to come out. So there's a lot of movement and churning going on inside the pressure cooker. A lot more than a pot of water at a rolling boil. So does it make sense now why some foods are torn to shreds or spray out of the valve when the wrong opening method is used? Don't worry, you can control the force of the churn using different opening methods. Let's revisit the opening methods, this time taking a peek at what's going on inside to understand which method is best for what kind of food and why. The normal pressure release takes the least amount of time, but also triggers the most movement inside the pressure cooker. This release method is best used for quick cooking foods like vegetables, fish, and eggs. It's notorious for splashing things on the underside of the lid and gunking up the valve, so you only want to use it with large pieces of food and not for thick recipes or those containing rice, grains, or beans. The slow normal pressure release can be used to hurry things along when it's just not practical or convenient to wait for the full natural release. For example, when quick soaking beans, or opening the pressure cooker for an intermediate step to add ingredients. There is some movement, but releasing pressure slowly or in spurts gives the foam inside a chance to settle down before it reaches the safety valves in the lid. The 10-minute natural pressure release is mostly used for rice and grains. When cooking time is up, the next 10 minutes, during which the heat is off and the pressure is not released, the food is absorbing the rest of the cooking liquid. So, if you did things right, like following the hip grain to liquid ratio, in the 10 minutes there will be little to no liquid left in the cooker to actually bubble, boil, or spray out of the valve. Finally, the natural release has the least amount of movement. Think of it as a very slow simmer. This opening method preserves the most flavor too. That's because a majority of the steam is not sprayed out of the valve, but it hits the lid, condenses, and drips back into the recipe. It also gives the food time to come down in temperature from pressure to boiling. This is especially important for meats, and I'll explain that in detail in the next lesson. Okay, so I just threw a lot of information your way, and don't worry, you don't have to remember it all. The hip pressure cooking time chart includes a column with my recommended opening method, and it's noted in all of my cookbook and website recipes too.